So, hi! Is it time for us to make a new video? I think it is. People call him chaotic, wasteful, a meme. But what if I told you that Darwin Núñez actually isn't a flop? Because behind the missed chances, the numbers paint a totally different picture. And no, this isn't just fanboy talk, it's real facts. For those who don't know me, welcome to my channel, Hunted. Here I analyze football players, coaches and the game itself from all around the world. I also create powerful animated short stories about the players you love, and I'll be going live to react on the biggest matches in football. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe or just sit back and relax. Alright, let me just take a moment of yours to show the possible lineup for Liverpool's upcoming season. And there is still question like, where is players like Wirtz, Frimpong and Ekitike going to play? And the lineup you can see on the screen right now, I know it's not the real starter for Liverpool. Núñez will probably be benched most of the games. But I placed him up front for one reason, and that is to explain why I think he's world class. Now remember, Arne Slot used the 4-2-3-1 formation back at his time at Feyenoord, and he'll probably stick with that kind of tactic again. So here is how it could work. Gravenberch sits deep, covering alongside Van Dijk and Konate. On the right side, a triangle is created between Frimpong, McAllister and Salah. On the left side, the same thing, but with Kirkes, Wirtz and Diaz. Núñez has the ability to drag two center backs with him, which makes him perfect to stay in the middle. Wirtz and McAllister can thread those passes between the defensive line, and if Kirkes gets the ball, then Salah would make the run in behind, and Núñez, with his height and his pace, would do the magic for you. Next up, I've always placed Núñez at his more comfortable role out on the left wing. The attacking shape still forms a defensive line for Liverpool, but this time it's a triangle between Wirtz, McAllister and Ekitike, while Frimpong and Kirkes drops a little deeper to reset the play if needed. In this shape, Kirkes and Frimpong push as wide outlets while Núñez and Ekitike stays as two striker up front, both with serious height. It makes sense for Salah to drop a little deeper, lining up with McAllister and Wirtz, because those three are just world class at controlling the ball and make those crosses into the box. And look at Núñez's heat map. It covers up most of the area in the defensive line, but it also shows his work rate. You never see a striker like this working so much, getting back and help the team in the defensive area, and I'm gonna show you in a moment what I mean. Today it's about Darwin Núñez. Now look, I get it. He misses big chances and he looks a little wild sometimes, but the truth is we might have created this image of him that might not actually match what's going on. So let's take a look at real numbers. Let's start off with what people think about Darwin Núñez on Twitter. They say he's raw, he's not clinical, he has no decision making, just vibes. But let me break that down to you, because honestly, I think that's just lazy analysis. Let's look at his goal assist in 90 minutes in the last season. We can actually see he beats players like Luis Diaz, Visa and Vlahovic in other leagues. And he's up there with the big guys like Martinez, Isaac and Haaland with the score of 0.84. Expected goals per 90 minutes in the Premier League, he was actually top 5. That's not just luck. He creates the big chances, he gets into the right spaces. So sure, he misses some, but he's there constantly. And just to clarify my point, what if we live in a world where we imagine that Darwin Núñez actually scored the times he hit the post? If we just switched that ball 5 centimeters in the right direction, how would his stats look like? I'll tell you in a second. But first, did you know that Darwin Núñez actually had the record of hitting the post most of the times in a single season? He did that last season with 9 times. One game against Chelsea, he managed to hit the post 4 times in a single match. We are of course talking about the season 23-24. Now, imagine if he actually scored the times he hit the post. He would have had 36 appearances with 20 goals and 8 assists. And this is only league games. Then we have European matches, the cup games, the internationals as well. That would probably have gotten him in the top 4 as a goal scorer in the toughest league in the world. Just let that sink in for a while. And you probably ask why I'm not mentioning the last season 24-25, and there is a good reason to that, and I will get to that later. but in 23-24 his average shots per game was 3.6. Most of them are from high expected goal position, and his expected goals were 0.7, which is elite territory for a striker. He creates space just the way he runs. He's one of the fastest player in the Premier League history, clocked at over 36 kilometers per hour. You don't get those numbers by accident. You get them because defenders can't ignore you. Did you know that only few people in the world are actually able to get this fast? They have experienced this in China, and they found out that most of it are genetic. So it means you need to be born with more fast twitch muscle fibers to ever be able to become this fast. If you're born with more slow twitch muscle fiber, you are not able to train to become fast enough, sadly. Now look, I know what you're thinking. I've seen the games. He still looks clumsy, and you're just pulling out random facts. Well, fair enough. But we've got to separate style from effectiveness. Players like Benzema, Harry Kane, Messi, Ronaldo, they all look elegant when they play. Núñez doesn't, but that doesn't mean he's not effective. Football isn't ice skating. You don't win games by just looking pretty. Unless you're David Beckham or Jesse Rodriguez. I'm just kidding. But you win by creating chaos, getting into dangerous areas and making things happen. And Núñez does that consistently. Let's talk about Liverpool's system for a second. Salah needs space to cut in. Diaz thrives when the defenders are distracted. Gakpo floats in between the line. Guess who helped make that work? Núñez. Just by his presence, he occupies two center backs. And even when he doesn't score, he's still a reason why the attacking function. He presses hard, he's a physical monster, he's a nightmare to track down. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, in the first clip, you can see how he has already gotten in between the defenders and in front of the last guys to use his pace to score the goal. No one can defend that. Again, in the second clip, we have 5 players around him and he understands the run. Of course, the passing is really good as well, but he gets to the right spot and times his jump. Clip 3 and 4, look how far he drives the ball with his insane speed, making long passes to himself and choose to pass the ball to get a better option for the goal, and occupies 2 center backs and creates the space in the middle for the rest of the team. Clip number 5, he makes the perfect run behind Varane to get to the ball. Clip number 6, one of my favorites, as Liverpool were 1 man down against Newcastle because of a red card. Núñez gets substituted in the 80th minute and scores 2 goals to win the game 2-1. The way he just runs past the defender with only 1 touch and absolutely smashed it before the goalkeeper were able to react. Last clip, we can see again how he occupies 2 center backs and creates the space in the middle for Salah. I mean, this is absolutely world class. Alright, if you've gotten this far in the video and we're not done yet, I just wanted to take a moment as a new YouTuber with my 3rd video out there to thank every one of you who is watching. It means a lot to me. No matter who you are or where you're from, you are always welcome here. Okay, let's move on, because I promised you the reason why I left out Darwin Núñez last season. And it's simply because he didn't get too much playtime. And most of you would look and see that he has 30 appearances with only 5 goals and 2 assists. But there is a secret behind these stats. He was only a starter 8 times and were used as a substitution 22 times, which gave him around 37 minutes average playtime. Unfortunately, I don't think he's part of Arne Slot's plan, but getting in as a substitution when the whole team is already tired and you're trying to defend a winning match makes it almost impossible to get on the scoreboard. And this is the real reason behind why I left it out. So, here's the real question. Is he really a flop? In my opinion, I don't think so. He might not be the finished product yet, but calling him a failure is way off. And get this, he's the same age as Alexander Isak. There is only 2 months between them, so there is plenty of room for development. And he's already putting up his numbers together with the players who has been praised for years. In fact, I'd argue that he's the new kind of striker. He's less about polish, more about chaos and pressure. And in modern football, this is exactly what a team needs. 2 things I just wanted to add, which I really love about Núñez, is that he never complains. He never complains about being substituted or Liverpool buying in players that plays his role. And when he gets substituted, he absolutely gives his all for the team. I've never seen a striker helping that much in defense as Núñez does. Anyways, it's just my take. Let me know what you think in the comment. Is he misunderstood or is he really overrated? And do you think he's gonna be a part of Arne Slot's game plan next season? If you like these kind of breakdowns, subscribe to my channel. This is where we talk football for real. Thank you guys for watching. Vi ses.